Sure. How about now? It doesn't work. Perfect. Yeah. Hi, do you hear me now? Yeah, I think so. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you everyone for coming. I can see some new faces over here today. Who's new? Okay, sure. So before I start, I want to say please do not do any videotaping. You can take picture of the slide, that's fine, but do not videotape the presentation, and I would appreciate that. اللهم اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهه قلبي. For brother and sister who doesn't know me, my name is Dr. Sara Kadi. I have doctorate degree in education and organizational leadership from Pepperdine University. I am a daughter, a wife, and a mother, and this is the most important job of my life. To give you a small idea of what we did last week, we talked about leadership. We defined it from the eye of Islam. We discussed that Islam do not build a leader. Islam create a human to become a leader. Yes, please come, brother and sister. Thank you. Also, we discussed how important is the mental health of the leader of today to build the future leader. And we explained how it's important to have a family mission statement, to set up your goals, to have a time and a deadline to achieve what you want and what are you looking for within your children. And we concluded by addressing the three, four, and core, the three elements of building a leader. And we will continue doing that today, inshallah. Today presentation is under title Young Leaders Between Childhood and Adult Life. And our agenda for today is we will continue, inshallah, to talk about the three core principles of building a leader. Also, we will discuss leadership in the teen years, and we will conclude with some obstacles and solution to communicate with our angry teenagers. To start, I'm going to start from the same place I started last week, from our long-term goal of why we are doing this workshop. We aim to achieve two main elements. First, to build strong and unbreakable relationship with our kids, to get us to our long-term goal, which is create young leaders with strong rooted identity. This is the main idea, the main goals of this workshop. However, I need to ask you why you're here, why you're sitting down, having some time from your family, from your fun. Even today is a vacation. Why you're here? What is your goal of being here? Having what? Yes, having better generation, but why? How do you feel about your kids? Let me help you. You care about your kids. You love your kids. However, and listen to this statement I'm gonna offer you. Love, I'm sorry, this slide's supposed to come. Love is not guaranteed. Love is not guaranteed. What do I mean when I say love is not guaranteed? Can anyone share the thought?
To me, love is unconditional. So it's not necessarily, especially your family, loved ones. Because just the way our Creator Subhanahu wa Taala loves us, He loves us unconditionally. So
She said, love to her is unconditional. Yes, your love to your kids is unconditional. However, their love to you is not guaranteed. Their love to you is depend in two things. It's a result in the way you treat them and communicate with them. It is also a consequences of your leadership style with them and your communication and parenting style with them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the verse of Quran, He ordered us to worship Allah and connected with that worshipness, dealing with our parents with ihsan. Why? Because love is not guaranteed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says, ولا تقل لهما أف ولا تنهرهما وقل لهما قولا كريما واخفض لهما جناح الذل من الرحمة وقل رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. Allah in this ayah ordered us to treat our parents kindly, even though if they're not nice to us, because Islam is the religion of ethics. Islam never forget ihsan, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows when we leave home, we're not going to remember how much our parents cared for us, except if they are treated us well. Umar ibn al-Khattab, when a man came to him complaining about his son, telling him he is bad to me, he is disobeying me, he took the son on the side, asked him question, asked him why. The answer of the son to him, he was not a good parent for me. Umar ibn al-Khattab responds to him, you mistreated him first. You disobeyed him first. This is your handmaid. This is what you did to him, to them. So before you blame your kids, before you abuse the meaning of uquq, the disobedience, go back to your journey with them and ask yourself how truly you were to them. Were you kind? Were you good? Were you communicating well with them? When you find the piece that's missing in your leadership style, in your communicating style, in your parenting style, you will know why your kids ran away or your kids stayed with you. Now, we will go to the most important element of today's presentation. We will discuss the three core principles of building a leader. Last week, we talked about kids from age 5 and below. Today, we will talk about young leaders from age 5 to 18. Anyone here can remind us with the three core principles that we talked about in building a leader? Do you remember any one of them? This is a problem. The three core principles. We talked about it. No. Okay. Sure. Even if in your own words.
I remember last time you said when how we should show them love and how we go to their level and also contact eyes with them when the communication. Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. If I have a gift, I would give it to you. Thank you, Huda. Thank you. Exactly. First, unconditional love. Second, identity. Third, communication. Again, unconditional love, identity, communication. I will explain right now. So we will start now with the first core principle of building young leader. First, unconditional love. Take a deep look at this picture. When I think about love, I think about parenting. And when I think about parenting, there is no image that comes to my mind but this image. The first moment when we hold our baby close to our heart, father or mothers, we hug them, we smell them, we want to hide them inside our chests. We love them unconditionally. We did not see them. We did not know their features. We did not know their faces, but we still love them unconditionally. When years go by and they grow up a little bit older, all what we care about is feed them, dress them, give them what they want, put them in the right direction, help them to make correct decisions. When the clock starts ticking, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, and they're 18, and it's time to leave, all what we want for them is to stay under our roof more. Because the minute they leave, they may never come back to us. But I asked myself these questions million of times. Is this unconditional love? Is this what our kids want from us? What do you think? The answer is no. Because unconditional love in the mind of our kids doesn't have that definition. Unconditional love means to love your children unconditionally, with no conditions, with no expectations, with no comparison. You love them the way who are and what they are, without, regardless of their achievement, of their failure, of their strength and their weaknesses. You love them the way who are and the way who are and what they are. This is unconditional love. And this is what our kids looking for to believe that you love them. Now, I will share with you some tips to help you practice unconditional love with your kids, also to test your parenting with them, to test your level of love when you treat them. First, lower your expectation. What does that mean? So when you treat your children or you love your children, you need to understand something. They came to the life knowing nothing. You're the parents, you're the teacher, and for sure, they are going to make mistake. They will do mistakes, and you have a role and a job to correct that mistake. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed Adam alayhi salam to make a mistake, to eat from the tree, because he wants to tell us a message, to send a message to us. We are human and we make problems, we make mistakes. And what we need to do is make tawbah, repentance, and go back to Allah. Teach your kids it's okay to make mistake. Learn from your mistake and come back to me. I will help you. I will fix it to you. I will correct the path for you. Second, when you look at your children, just see the glass half full. What do I mean by that? I mean, do not focus on their mistakes. Do not focus on their problems. Every cup in the world is full and half in a certain way. I found this picture and I really, really like it on the internet. And imagine there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 ways to see an empty cup. And you're entitled to choose which side to be in. You want to be optimistic, or you want to be the bad parents that does not see anything but the mistakes, the weaknesses? It's your choice to make. And this is one of my important and favorite points in this section. Remember, your kids are not you. It is the truth and nothing but the truth. It is truth, your kids, it's part of you, but they will never be you. and you will never be in peace with yourself, and you will never have a good relationship with your kids until you accept this point. Your kids are not you. They are a piece of you, were created in life to find their path in life. And your job to help them to become the best version of themselves, not from you, from themselves. Empower them, support them, help them to fly, help them to find their path. And this is only your duty and no one else. Next, when you treat your children, respect them. Don't minimize them. Don't shame them. Don't make fun of them. And very importantly, do not compare them with no one. If you want a recipe to destroy your kids, compare them. Compare them with siblings, cousin, friend, people that you don't know. Nothing damage a child like comparison. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, ولولا دفع الناس بعضهم ببعض لهلكت الأرض. بعضهم لبعض لهلكت الأرض. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mean, without our differences, life is going to be destroyed. We need these differences. Look at your hand. Look at your fingers. You have 5 in each hand. Is any one of them look like the other one? No. Can your hand function correctly without one of them? Of course not. So why you want to you force your kids to be someone else, to be somebody else that they don't know, they cannot be. There is actually a positive way of comparison. Can anyone share with me or know what is that? You can use comparison under one condition only. There is a positive side of comparison when you compare your kids in one condition only. No, not the religion, not the religion. As I said, compare to themselves, amazing. You're on my good side today. So, I said the recipe of destroying your child is comparison. You do not compare your son or your daughter with no one but themselves. And when you want to encourage them, let's give an example. You have a kid, he's very naughty, for example, and you want to what? The middle child. You never know. I am a middle child. You never know. I agree because the middle child always abused. It's proven. It's proven scientifically. We will talk about it, inshallah. We will talk about it. So, if you have a naughty child and you want to encourage that child to stop being naughty, so we'll say, MashaAllah, let's say Abdurrahman, today is a good boy. Yesterday, he was listening to mama, listening to mama, but today he's listening more. Even with teenager, hug your teenager, give the teenager a kiss in the head and say, I am so proud of you. Your attitude this week is better than last week. Compare them with their past to encourage their future. Remember, comparison is the recipe of destroying your kids. Never compare your children with no one. Next point, fix the problem by meeting the needs of your children. How can I explain this? I will give you 3 examples. First, if you have a toddler and the toddler just cry and scream, and you want that toddler to stop crying, you're screaming, he or she is screaming, everybody's screaming, and there is no solution. How about you take a step back, take a deep breath, and think, why is that toddler is crying? Maybe he is hungry. Maybe she wants to sleep. Maybe they want candy. Fix the problem. Satisfy that need. Also, and everyone here gonna like this example. If you have a toddler and they are in the potty train time, and you feel this toddler is not ready, You have a phone call with a mom, a friend, a family member, and they say, "You did not potty train your kid? I potty trained you when you were a year and a half." You rush with determined, with anger to potty train that kid. But that kid is not responding because he or she are not ready. So get a step back and ask yourself why I am doing that. Am I doing it for myself or to please other people? Another example for teenagers. When you have a teenager, a mad teenager, and you want them to do and not do something, and they're fighting you, challenging you, instead of getting in a fight, an argument, and screaming, take a step back and ask yourself, is them doing that action beneficial for them or it's hurting them? Am I doing that for them or for myself? And you will always find the missing piece when you ask these questions, and it will guide you to fix the problem by meeting your kids' needs. How did this move? Okay, yeah. Next, there are some consequences and negativity of not practicing unconditional love. Brothers and sisters, be careful of the way you love your kids. Be careful of the way you express unconditional love for them, because sometimes it causes scars and pain that stay inside and it will never go away, even when they're adults. One of these problems, for example, destroying and damaging their character forever. They will try to become somebody else to get your love, to get to your heart, for you to accept them. And in the future also, it's going to transforming them to a people pleaser. Because their need for love, their need to be fitting in, their need to feel important, and this is going to take them to a very dangerous path to make bad decisions, like trying the first cigarettes, taking off hijab, for example, dressing in a certain way. Why? To fit in with a certain people and to be accepted by certain groups. So please watch out the way you love your children. Love is very powerful. Love is very effective. However, it is really dangerous. Next, identity. Identity is the second core principle of building a leader. But you may ask, as our brother here asked, what is identity? Identity, in a small and a brief definition, is the way we represent ourselves to other people, to the world, and how the world see us and define us. Identity, in a simple word, is us. It is you, me, it is what we are, what we believe in. Identity represents in the unseen power that's hidden inside our heart to control our action, our behavior, our belief, our religion, our ethics, and our moral. Identity is you. Well, we're going to start with some tips to help you support building identity within your children. Last week, we talked about starting with young kids in a very early age to establish an Islamic identity. And today, we will continue in that path because Islam is the start of strong identity. Connect your kids with their roots. Connect your kids with their religion, their culture, their language. Allow them to have a strong, stable land, strong principle to go back to. Share stories, show videos, show pictures. Tell them about the Islamic history. Tell them about Palestine. After what we're going through right now, we discovered this noble country have been forgotten. A lot of our kids doesn't know anything about it. Make sure you remind them of who they are. Connect your kids with the right people. Take them to family gathering. Watch out with who they spend their time. Watch out for their kids, their friends, their social groups. And all of that, and all of why we're doing that, is to prepare them to build what I call the self immune system, to allow them see the right and see the wrong and choose the right. Connect your children with truth. Let them be the representable for it. Well, Ali ibn Abi Talib radiyallahu anhu says, يعرف الرجال بالحق ولا يعرف الحق بالرجال. Ali ibn Abi Talib says, men will be known by truth. However, truth will never be known by men. It's really, really powerful. Let your kids be connected and known by truth because it's the right and correct path. Also, there is a Western quote I really love and I appreciate. Truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Let it loose and it will defend itself. And the truth, it's really clear. Let your kids find it. Let your kids to be labeled by it. In life, I have seen a lot of people struggle badly when they face an ethical dilemma. Why? Because they do not know who they are. They don't have a source for that ethics. They don't have stable, strong identity. I remember when I was a student, in one of our ethics classes, a professor came to the class and asked everyone there, what is the source of your ethics? Everyone there has different belief, different idea, different opinions. And when my turn came, I told him, it's my religion. The professor shook his head, nodding and unhappy with my answer. And he wanted to convince me to change my answer. So he picked a pen that belonged to the university that was on the table for us to use when we need it and return it. And he said, is your religion teaching you the ethic of using this pen? I smiled and I nodded, yes. Our religion did taught us, did teach us the right and the wrong and the rule of using this pen. And I cannot express to you how surprised he was when I told him our religion covered everything in life. He told us the right of finding money of valuable things in the floor. He taught us that pen doesn't belong to me. I use it, I get benefit of it, and I return it because Islam is the religion of ethics. Islam is the religion of every time and every place. And I cannot express to you how proud I was of who I am, how proud I was of my religion. Teach your kids to be that. Teach your kids to reach to that point. And to help you do that, I'm going to teach you an identity secret, an identity recipe. I always tell my kids, we are different than anyone in life. All those people you see around you, we are not like them. Not because we're American, not because we're Arabs, not because we're Indian, not because we're Asian. We are different because we are Muslim. Brothers and sisters, this recipe of creating an identity make a lot of things easier. It will give you a stable background to go to when you want to say no for things, when you want to correct a behavior, It's just so easy and clear. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, today I have complete your religion. I have blessed you with my blessing, and I wanted and have accepted Islam to be your religion, your path of life. But to complete this recipe, you need to do a couple of things. You need to start early, very early with the Islamic identity. And you need to introduce it with love. And finally, emphasize it with communication. Do you recognize anything in this recipe? Anything special about this recipe? The love. What else? Okay. What else? Any age. Any age. Yeah, exactly. I think you got my idea. So, in this recipe, I meant to send a message. Start early. This is identity. Introduce it with love. This is unconditional love. Emphasize it with communication. This is communication. This is the three core principle of building a leader. Our religion is continuing with each other. Our religion never separate between life, religion. Our religion is the complete religion. And this is the message I want to send to you. After we finish talking about the Islamic identity, we need to pay attention to the personal identity. It is really, really important when you build young leaders and establishing identity within their character to focus on their strength, to focus on their talent. If you have a young child, do not call them by their names. If they're good at art, the artist came. If they are good at singing, the singer came. If they're a writer, the writer come. When you welcome your children, give them special nicknames to connect them to their strength and their identity, their personal identity. This is will increase their self-awareness. This is will connect with them better because it's gonna make them feel and know who they are in a very early ages, and will help them in the future to choose their paths. Also, you need to pay very, very attention, very big attention to kids who get impressed by princesses, cartoon heroes. You may have a child that say, I am Princess Moana. I am Princess, I don't know, Jasmine. It's okay to wear the dresses. It's okay to call her a princess, but no, stop her and correct her. No, you're Princess Selwa. You're not Princess Jasmine. You're Princess Aisha. You're Queen Fatima. Label the character with their character. Connect the name with their character. And I cannot express to you how powerful and important that to affect their future and their personality. Also, let's do what our Islam recommend for us. Give the kids nicknames. What's wrong of calling them Abu Abdullah? What's wrong of calling them Abu Huraira, Khalid ibn al-Walid? And also, you could take that from their characters. Just see what your kids shine in, what his or her talent, and connect it with some Islamic title. Also, I found when you have a kind kids, when you have a passionate kids, when a kid come to the room and you want to welcome him or her, hug that kid and kiss him in the head and say, my passionate kid is here. The big heart kid is here. The loving kids is here. This is an amazing way of expressing your love and enhancing the good character they act with you. Next, the social identity. I have found there is nothing greater to enhance a social identity within your kids, but like teaching them their rights in life. When we discussed last week who is a leader, we discussed that Islam built a human to become a leader, a human who know his or her right, defend it, believe in it, and also in the same side, give other people the right and defend it for them. And in Islam, because Islam is the religion of rights, we have a clear rule of human rights. Do anyone here know the 5 human rights in Islam? I believe everyone know. Everyone know. Do you want to share? You want to share? It's okay. Just tell me one of them. Good. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. That's good. This is one of them actually. You got it. Any other thoughts? Good. Okay, it's connected to one of the 5 rights. It did.
The one whose hands others are safe, and he's safe from the other hands. It is a
Yeah, it's yes.
yeah.
I got you right.
I mean his hands and by tongues, by tongue and by the language.
I think all of you, okay.
Don't judge the others. Also, uh, um, about the privacy. We- Um, I also have another point. I forgot.
No, I believe, okay, rights of education, it's connected to one of them as well.
So, in general, to be respected, the right to be respected, and also Maslow's, basic rights of, having food, shelter, and air, and everything else.
I think all of you got an idea of one of these 5 elements of human life. Let's see it together. First, the right of religion, the right of soul, the right of self, soul and body, the right of money, the right of name and dignity, the right of mind. Al-Imam al-Shatibi says, any path help to support these 5 elements of 5 rights of humanity is blessed. And any path stop these 5 rights to be achieved is corrupt and it need to be stopped. Let me explain these rights for you. First, the right of religion. Islam made it clear you have the right to choose your religion. You're entitled to be a Muslim or not, but in the same time, Islam make it very loud and clear that inna ad-deena inda Allah al-Islam. Islam is the religion in Allah judgment, in Allah book. Also, self and soul, you're in right to live. If somebody kill you, needs to get punished. You're not allowed to kill yourself. You are entitled to eat, sleep, have a home, have a family. And look what's going on in the world right now. People doesn't like that. People want to step on each other rights. Money. Islam discussed the right of money in so many ayahs and in a lot of the seerah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How can you earn money? Where you spend money. Islam emphasizes on your rightness to earn money and explain to you where you should spend that money. Also, in Islam, your name and dignity is really important. Islam ordered us for not backbiting each other. Islam protects the dignity of women and men. You can get married. You need to save your children. You have to save your name. Islam emphasized on the role of that. Finally, mind. Islam expressed the importance of mental health for all human. Islam told us don't drink because al-khamr or the alcohol affect your mind. A lot of the Islamic scholar emphasize and support the mentality of the five rights in Islam. And they explore it for so many ayahs in Quran. And I would recommend for you to go and search the five principles or the five rights of Islam. You will find it everywhere and in every language. How do I know? Because I looked, I Googled it, and I researched for it. And to be honest with you, I think this five principle, it's an amazing way to teach your kids how to become leaders because it's determined the border for everything, for their life, for their relationship with people, for their work, and for their future. And I had an idea to help parents with young children to use these five principles early in teaching your children. You know the family tree? I got this from the family tree idea. You can get it and start early as age 5. I want to mention age 5, where the kids actually start to recognize things and remember things. So it's the perfect age to start an identical beliefs like this. And when you join it and connect it with picture, it's unforgettable. And also, even for you, knowing and understanding these five principles will make your life better, will make your relationship happier, and will teach you how to set borders online for a lot of people who want to get into your life. And in the same time, because Islam is the religion of ethics and moral, it will help you act and react against stuff people doesn't want to stand for. People doesn't want to say this is the truth, this is the wrong and the right. Next, as I said, starting talking about the identity within young children is really, really important. So I found these platforms also online, and I do recommend to start with kids from age 5. Why? Because kids needs to know the answer for all of these questions before they go to school. Why? Because the school nowadays is really corrupt. And all what they want to do is mess up with your kid's identity. Especially answering the question, what is your gender? Your child need to go to school knowing I am a boy, I am a girl. So if somebody try to play with their mind, they will stand and say, no, I am a boy, I am a girl. So this is really, really important. Also, when your children is growing up, these elements is really important to be injected in their life. They need to know their roles and they need to know their responsibility. And they need to center themselves and be very self-aware of what they need to do and what they don't need to do when it's come to these elements. This will prepare them for the future plan that I'm going to show you right now. I have this if you want to pass it, so can you help me pass it, please? By age 18, your kid needs to know, or at least have a written plan of this map. I apologize for unclearness of this picture. However, I looked through a lot of examples. I couldn't find a better version than this. By age 18, your child need to know where they stand between all of these circles: the social area, the family area, the sport, let's say hobbies, the culture, and professional. And let me just discuss one of them, the family. You are part of the family, and you have a lot of different identity in that family. You're a child, you're a parent, you're a mother, you're a father. So there is different part and role in each one of these circles. And you may wonder, when our kids hit 18 and they don't know what they want to study, and they struggle and they join the university and they change their major because they don't have a clear picture of this when they were growing up. I'm not saying allow them, force them to write it. You need to discuss it with them early. You need to teach them to be self-aware of who they are, what they like, what is their role in life, what is their responsibility. And to help you do that, I have this outline so you can play with it, symbolize it. I have the paper over here. If you also wanna pass it for, let's use this side. Can you please pass it out? It's a circle with all the role and duty and the element for identifying your children, with 4 questions to help you to figure out and find the answer. You can start working with your kids since age 9, because this is for older kids. I show you the younger version. The younger version is need to be simple and colorful. This is for more aged kids. To conclude this section, I want to say identity is everything. And without identity, we're no one. And without identity, you're not creating a leader. You are creating a follower that go with the flow. Thank you. And this is not leadership. And this is not a leader. If you want to create leaders, give them identities. An identity they believe in. An identity they are proud of. An identity they live by and for. When you reach that, congratulations, you have created a leader. And no one can mess with your children. Sure. Yeah, sure, sure. So this is not for young children. This is for age 9. And at this age, I think you're already preparing them to answer these questions by using the form, this form, the colorful form. And you already discussed this form with them. You need to talk to your children, to tell them this is your religion, this is your role in life. You are a son. You have responsibility, like for example, doing basketball. You have a duty as a student. Maybe if they're a teenager, you have a job. At home, you have chores and responsibility. So you discuss these elements with them to reach to the level, to the end of to the social wheels. Do you get my idea? Sure. Sure. And to be honest with you, I put this for a purpose because Nick, the last presentation, it's gonna be about homosexuality and sexual orientation. And one of the things we're gonna discuss the age of introducing homosexuality and sexual orientation. If I cannot answer that question right now because mm, again, I'm telling you, we are Muslim and we have totally different principle than any other culture or any other country. If you just be patient and come to the last session, you're gonna like what you hear. Just be patient. I'm gonna address that like deeply. Please. Inshallah. Inshallah. But thank you for your how do you call? Thank you for sharing your opinion. Communication, the third and the last core principle of building a leader. And the hard one. It's the number one problem between kids and family. And if you may ask yourself why I do not have a good relationship with my kids, because you don't know how to communicate with them. So you don't know how to connect with them. And to address that, I'm going to discuss the three type of communication that you need to communicate with your children. First, emotional. Second, physical. Third, verbal. We're going to start and join the physical and emotional communication with each other. Well, the picture is full with love because our religion is the religion of love. We are human. We feel, we need, we love, we talk, we express, we build a relationship. And the best way to do that is express your feeling. When you act with your children, you have to connect with them physically and emotionally because the language of love is not difficult. It's simple, it's honest, and it's hit to the heart. You can read it from the eyes, you can read it from your body language. The language of love is simple. I heard a lot of parents say, I cannot give love because I did not get it. Well, I'm going to tell you, this is not an excuse. You're an adult now, and you're entitled to change that. You want to feel love? Give it to your children. You want to feel love? Hug your children. You want to feel love? Kiss your children. You have a chance to erase your past. You have the chance to live happily, to enjoy life. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam answered a man who came to him when he saw him kissing Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein, and he said, "Do you kiss boys?" Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Yes." He said, "I have 10 of boys. I never kissed one of them." What was the answer of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? What can I do if Allah took the kindness, merciful from your heart? Love is part of our creation. Love is number one element to build family or destroy family. Here it is, some suggestion or way to show love. Give your children unlimited kisses, unlimited hugs. Find any chances to kiss them, to hug them, shower them with love. Say, I love you in every time, in every chance, in every language you know, or learn new languages to express your feeling. Establish a secret code or a love language that make your life and your family different from others. And I'm going to share with you some of my favorite words I use personally with my kids. I love you, my boy. I love you, my girl. You are the best thing that happened to me. I love you unconditionally. You are my sunshine. Finally, build your relationship with your kids on friendship and fun. Look at the picture. Look at the love and goofiness and happiness inside it. We're not in the company. We're not in businesses when we treat or we act or communicate with our children. Be that. You want to earn the heart of your children? Be that. Please try to do that. Now, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and we're going to do a small game, like it's a small exercise with each other. First, before I begin, do you hug your children? Of course, awesome, amazing. I just want to make sure. How many times do you hug your kids a day? When is the last time you hugged your teens? And finally, how many times a day a normal human need to be hugged? I don't want you to answer the first two questions, but the last question I am eager to know. How many times a human being need to be hugged? 8? 8? This is 8. What else? 20 to 30, okay? No, but in science, it's been through the research. We don't count it, but like when you think about it. Yeah. Yeah, but my question is, it's proven by science 7 times. So we heard 8, 7, 20, 5, okay? 10, 10. How much money? How much money can you provide for him? I want to hear everyone, please. 5? بكفي. 5 is enough. Okay. Anyone wants to share? Yeah. Less?
Countless in lifetime, but a human, it's a day, right? Need a day. It depends on how the day goes, you know.
So who said 5? Okay, 5. You're the closest. Uh, who said 8? You said 8. You're amazing. You deserve a gift today. I'm pretty sure about it. You're the star. And who said 20? You. Did anybody say 10? 10? 10 and 10. Okay, perfect. So, family specialists believe we need 4 hugs a day to survive. This is a necessary. This is a must. Uh, you said 3? I'm sorry, I did not hear you. It's my fault. I'm sorry. But we need 8 hugs a day for maintain. So good job. And finally, we need 12 hugs a day to grow. Imagine the number. And sometimes there is days that go by and we don't hug our kids at all. I am a mother and I know I am a busy mom. Uh, she said her mom hugs her only on holidays. Go. 20 hugs make you younger. So I came up with this frame. A few hugs a day, keep the doctor away. Why? This is why. This is some benefit of hugging young children. This is for young children. First of all, it's make the young children feel safe. It's give them love, comfort, and they will feel safe. Also, it's a stress reliever. Study proved that when you hug a young child, it will increase reducing a love hormone that will make them feeling less anxiety and feel less depressed. Love is important, hugs is important. Also, it's going to increase happiness. And this is for both sides. It's not only for them, it's also for you. Also, it's develop confidence and increase self-esteem. They will make them feel they're wanted. They will make them feel it's okay for them to hug other people. Also, study has shown kids or young kids who have been hugged, they are smarter than other kids who are not hugged. Also, study shown kids who have been hugged are in a better health condition because their immune system is higher than the kids that their parents does not hug them. Also, hugging your children will help you in discipline them because when you say no, they will understand there is time for love, there is time for discipline, and you're saying no because you love them and you care about them. Finally, it's a natural way to develop their passion, their emotion, and become a human. You can see kids, they're not human. They grow up to an adult, to men and women, and they don't have that passion. They cannot express their feeling. You would say, "Hi, I miss you." They would say, "Okay." Really? And this is not right. Hug your children. To help you, I'm sorry, let's finish this out and then we will conclude this point. Now, there is a special study that made on teenagers. And actually, there is a special results depend on hugging your teenagers. If you have a teenager, you would know it's impossible to hug them. Sometimes you will run after them to hug them, and they'll say, Mama, I don't want that. What are you doing? Oh, and you will hear a lot of discomfort when you hug them. So, believe it or not, teenagers curve the hugs. They want it. They actually want you to hug them, but they think they're too cool and they're too old for it. So, please go after your teens and hug them. As a recommendation, from my experience, teenager likes you to hug them from the back. So you do not feel how comforting and happy they are when you hug them. Start from the back, and inshallah, you will get the full hug. Also, study proved that hugging a communication will develop a better communication skill between you and them. Also, teenager, and as you know, go through very sensitive and dangerous time when it's come to their feeling. They want to be loved. They want to love people. And when they take it from home, this is a big and better protection for them, not looking for it somewhere else or in the different source. Okay, also, feeling comfortable within their body. As you see, I'm sorry, I'm gonna sit down a little bit. As you see, teenager in that time, they face hormonal change, body change, the nose grow bigger, their smells change, their hair look different, they are buffy, they're not normal. So they face a lot of confident problems. And hugging them deeply, it will make them feel, wow, it is okay. I'm still loved. My mom still loved me with all these changes. Finally, hugging the kids, it will help them to go back to their center, to go back to believe they belong to your family, they belong to a certain group. Because at this age, a lot of the teenager get distinguished from their belief, their family, of the group, the social people they're surrounding themselves with, and hugs have proven that help kids and teenagers to go back to their center and their social group. And now, if you hug your children, that's amazing. If you do not, we need to make an agreement. We need by the end of this week to make the 4 hugs. It's a necessity for you and you. So let's start with this small exercise. Every single day, you need to hug your children twice. In the morning, when the first you see them, and in the night before they go to sleep. Force yourself to kiss them. Give them a deep, deep kiss, a deep sniff. Smell them. Hold them tight to your mouth and nose. Also, put your hand on their head and pet them. Make them feel safe and loved. And finally, count. You need to count. Research show to have the benefit of the hugs, it needs to be 20 seconds. I know it's difficult, but start from 10 to 20. And wallahi, my brothers and sisters, I promise you, by the end of the month, your hugs will increase to 8. And your kids is gonna come asking for it, even your teenagers. I hope to see you. Like we were gonna see each other in December 1st, and I really want to know the result of this exercise. Please try to do it. The third part of communication, verbal communication. The hardest and the most challenging. As a mom, and I know all of you, if you have a teenager, you went through this. When the conversation used to be, oh, mommy, I love you. You're the best. To I hate you. You're the worst. I'm pretty sure one of you heard that from your kids all the time. But why? Why? This transition happened for 2 reasons. First, your kid go through a lot of changes, and it's happened with a snap of a finger, with a blink of an eye. I have a best description for this transformation. My kid slept in the evening. My kid, as a child, he woke up in the morning, not my child. This is how fast the transition from a kid to a teenager. You're not ready for that, and the kids themselves are not ready for that. Also, there is unclear expectation for both sides. You want the kind kid, the kids that listen, obey, that do orders, but it's not there anymore. And the kids at the same time want the mother who understand, who listen, who understand that they're not kids anymore. This is why we clash. This is why we cannot connect. This is why we fail in the verbal communication. And now I'm going to teach you some communication protocol to help you connect and communicate with your children. First, very, 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 very important. Set clear expectation. And we will discuss this point in a few minutes in the other section. Second, there is no topics are out of limit. Your kids need to know that you are the door of everything. You're talking about everything, no matter how much shameful, stressful, nervous this topic, you need to talk to your kids about anything. Also, create a safe zone of talking. You need to be clear with your kids that if they made a mistake, you're the one who's gonna fix that mistake. Make it very, very clear. Honey, do whatever, what kind of a mistake you did, just come to me. And I promise you, I will help you. But you have to keep that promise. Because if you fail, you have lost your child. And when they come to you asking for help, please don't be harsh. Please don't shame them. Please do not judge them. Please do not minimize them. Actually, I'm going to tell you what I do with my kids. Hug them and say, thank you for sharing, and no blaming. Let's fix the problem together. That's it. What happened, happened, and they came for you to fix it. Sure. No, safe place. A place that they can come to you without no judgment, no judgment, no shaming, no minimizing. It's okay. Like it's okay. Come to me. I am your safe place. Do you understand? Sure? Okay. We're here. Yeah, I'm here. Also, you need to know not all kids are talkers. I'm pretty sure you have the kids that never stop talking and the kids that talk all the time. Well, the kids, for both of them, there is advantage and disadvantage. The kids that talk a lot, sometimes you cannot listen. And sometimes you miss an important information because their mouth doesn't close sometimes. So I recommend to pay a lot of attention to the kids that talk more than the kids that does not talk. And when, for example, a daughter or a son come home asking you to talk to you, I don't think they ask, they just start. So say, honey, I'm busy right now. And I really appreciate your stories. I really appreciate the thing that you want to share. Can we please let me finish this because I'm not going to give you the correct attention or the attention that you deserve? And send them and let them come back to you. However, you need to determine a certain time and you need to fulfill that certain time. Because if you did not, you would lose that kid. The kids that do not talk, well, there is a certain different way to push them to talk or connect with you. We could say, ask questions. Do not be the investigator. Do not investigate what's going on in their life. Connect with them through things they like, things you feel they're connected to. For example, just a second, I just want to make sure we're in the right slides. Yes, so instead of saying, how was your day? The minute you start asking, how was your day? They're gonna say, oh, she is investigating. She want to enter to my space. No. Start with, do you have a great day? Were your day good? Did you have trouble or a bad thing happen? Also, instead of saying, who were you with? Ask, did Abdurrahman come? Did Mario come? Name their friend's name and connect it to the questions. Also, if they are with their friend and you know they were playing video game, do not say, what did you do over there? Say, did you enjoy playing video game with your friend? So be smart. Choose the way you ask the question. Perfect. I know. I know. And believe me, it's need a lot of patience. And sometimes when you address the question, they will say, stop. I know what you're doing. I know you're trying to know what's happening. I don't want to talk about it. Just give them space, be patient, and keep asking. And I have a lot to cover for today, and I will cover ways of asking the questions to continue with, and you will find it. Can we keep the questions after, please? Because we have a lot, and I really want to cover what's left. Also, when you communicate with your kids, there is topics that you need to start the conversation with, especially with in the problem that we're facing in like sexual topics, drugs, alcohol. How can the kids know there is dangerous, there is a problem if you do not start the conversation? It's impossible. A few weeks ago, I attended the Red Ribbon Weeks. And as a parent, I was exposed to information I didn't know about. There is information, like dangerous information. Even the school did not share it with them, they share it with the family. One of them, the picture of these chips. Do you think there is a problem with these chips? Oh, okay. No, no pork. No, no, no. You are gonna be shocked. This chips has marijuana. Believe it or not. You see this sign? You see this sign? This is the only sign to teach you that it has marijuana. And in the school, they discussed how easy for kids to take these chips, eat it, and become addict to marijuana because they don't know the difference between the real chips and the marijuana chips. I did not, I'm sorry, I did not put the regular picture of the chips, but this is the sign that tell you that chips has marijuana. Marijuana itself. Marijuana itself. No, no, no. This is marijuana. This is marijuana. It's in middle school. The kids sell this in middle school. There is people who make a life of selling this to kids in middle school. It's Doritos, the same brand. No, no, it has special dealers and they target kids in school and they start with middle schooler because they do not know the difference. So please pay attention. Educate yourself when the school invite you to go to a certain meeting, go because this information is shocking. How can I know if I did not attend? I'm not sure about this information, but the chips has the same flavor, the same taste, but is injected with marijuana. Also, they discussed over there that kids, the dealer, start by stealing pills from their family or friend pharmacy, like oxycodone, the very strong Tylenol, the Tylenol that by description, and they give it as a gift for their friend, which is our kid, to try. And the kid doesn't know, like this is drugs. And it's only take for the first time for our kids to try to become an addict because they will like the taste and the feeling of it. Also, an information I didn't know, marijuana needs only 4 seconds to hit in the brain of a middle schooler. 4 seconds. How can your kids know this information if you do not start and educate them with it? And for the parents that they say, oh, no, I don't want to expose them to that. Can you leave, honey? Can you please give us the space? Thank you. And for the parents that say, I don't want to expose my kids to that, they're too young for that. Well, with a click of a button, with a blink of eye, they will know everything. And you're not going to like the kind and the quantity of the information they will get. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Protect your kids. Now, we will talk about teenagers. Why do teenagers rebels? There is two main reasons for that. First, the physical and the body and the hormonal changes, as we express and discuss in the last point, and also for two main reasons. Teenagers get mad and angry at you for two main reasons. They want to get out or get in. Get out, they feel you are so controlling, you disrespect them, you do not understand they're grown, so they want to leave. They want to break the jail. They want to go away from your control. Second, they want to get in. Some teenagers just want your attention, want you to see them, to respect their opinion, to love them, to hug them, to appreciate their humanity, their personality. This is why you have an angry teenager. There is a family specialist said a word that I like a lot. She said, there is no bad kid. There is no a bad teenager. There is a confused kid. There is a hurt kid. So please pay attention for your kids. How to deal with an angry teenagers? There is a three main ways to deal with your angry teenagers. Always unconditional love. Second, effective use of their time. Third, practicing effective communication. We will discuss that in the upcoming slides. First, I'm going to start with unconditional love. Your teenager needs to feel safe, loved, wanted, accepted. The world is a bad place. The world is full with hate, full with discrimination, full with bullying. Please don't be with the world against them. Please be that place that take them when somebody bothers them outside. Be kind and accept the change of the mood, the change of attitude. Accept that they are human. Accept that themselves, they don't know what's going on inside their body. Be the place that they go to. Unconditional love. Next, filling their time with useful activity. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, علموا أولادكم السباحة والرماية وركوب الخيل. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, teach your kids sports like swimming, riding horses, and using the arrows, because this is the right path to take their energy in. They will have a lot of energy, a lot of emotion, a lot of anger, and sport is the place to do that. I definitely recommend Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, because it's a way of putting their anger, a safe place to putting their anger in, and it's teach them skills to defend themselves in this world. Also, I am supporting the idea of making a teenager work. Working is important for our teenager at these days because it's increased their confidence, make them feel useful, Also, making their time busy and fulfilling it with something useful. Also, imagine if they make money. They will feel like valuable, they will feel they made a difference and change in their life. Also, working and having, I forgot to say, give your children house chores like doing the laundry, emptying the dishwasher, cleaning up the living room every single day. Your kids from age 5 to 18 need to have part in cleaning up the home. This is really important. This will help them for the future. They're going to be prepared with some skills and help them to support themselves. Now we will talk about practicing effective communication. When you have an angry teenager, he's screaming, shouting, you need 3 things. Again, unconditional love. Love will hunt you everywhere because without love, you cannot communicate with them. Second, setting clear expectation. Third, setting clear consequences. I'm going to go through each one of them deeply right now. First, I'm going to start with setting clear rule for the conversation. We talked about this point when we discussed the mission, family mission statement, and how important and clear for your kids to know that we do not scream, we do not shout. Teenagers need to know there is rules when we talk and communicate with each other. Rule number 1, we don't scream. We do not disrespect each other. However, it's okay to disagree. If you're polite, if I said no and you want to say why, it's okay. But you have to be polite. It's okay to share your opinion. It's okay to tell me what you think. But you don't scream and you don't shout. You do not respect. Rule number 2, we do not argue. We do not argue. When you have an angry teenager, all what they want is argue with you. They want to challenge you. You want to lose them? Go to that argument. You want to lose them? Challenge them. You need to do, so what should you do? You need to do this. First, stop the conversation immediately. You have to stop the conversation, delay it to the other time. Second, do not, I want to make sure, yeah. Okay. Yes, delay the conversation to another time using words like, I believe. You want to say something, but you don't know how. Also, I believe you need some time to calm down. Please go to your room. If they refuse to go to their rooms, say, excuse me, honey, I believe this is not the right time, and leave. Don't say, out, you're disrespecting me. No, no. Teach them the right way of communicating with each other. Also, you could say, I believe you want to share something, but you don't know how. And I recommend starting with this phrase to give them a chance to stop and rethink what they did again. And it's okay if you repeat it again and say, I believe you want to share something, but you don't know how. Finally, choose the right time and the place to talk. When you want to come back to discuss things, choose a comfortable room. Choose a time that they're not angry, they're not full with rage and fire. If you want to reach a successful communication, you have to do that. Next, anger with teenager does not come with no reasons. I remember a friend of mine who had a son who's angry. He's angry with no reason. He just wants to scream. And after a lot of trying to know why he's angry, she discovered he's hungry. Imagine he's exercising, he want to build muscles, He want to lose a certain weight and he doesn't eat. And his mood is effective. They cannot tell you, I am hungry. You have to know that. Teenagers, unpredictable. So you have to ask the right questions in the right time. Listen, do not lecture, and give them the power. Teenagers love power of making decision, of controlling the situation. First, you could say, instead of saying, what's going on, ask, honey, how can I help you? Honey, is it okay to know what's going on? Also, do you want to share something? Honey, can I talk to you? Also, do you have time to chat? Please allow me to your life. Also, you need to help children in guiding them to the right decision and finding the right answers for their problems. And this is the answer for you, sir. Uh, it's okay. This is the answer for your question. When you say how to provide a safe environment for them and provide a solution. If they come to you having a problem, do not rush to fix the problem. Discuss the topic with them, discuss the consequences, and allow them to come with the result themselves. For example, ask them, what is your take in this? What do you want to do? What do you think it's the right and correct answer? Let them say it in their words and then correct it for them. Also, we mentioned this in the two couple of slides. This is really important. You need to take permission from teenager to speak to. You have to ask, do you want to know what I think? Do you want me to share my thought? Teenager doesn't like you to say, well, when I was in your age, I did that. Well, if I am in your situation, I will do that. No. Teenagers love power. Give them their power and direct them to the direct solution for the problem. Finally, enhance love. Use the love language to fix the problem and make their anger come down. For example, if they want something and you want to say no, use these frames. Say, I trust you, but I don't trust the people around you. Honey, I love you dearly, but I think that. I love you, but I want you to do that. Use the word love to go to their hearts. Now, age 18. This is the age of reward for you. I would say, congratulations, you have made a friend from your children. If you treated them right, if you communicated with them right, it's time to celebrate and enjoy the human that you made in your life. This age, it will depend a lot on the past years and in the way you communicated with them. It's really, really, really important to give them their space and respect their boundaries. Allow them to feel they are adults and they're grown right now. I'm not going to say life is going to be beautiful all the time and it's la 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 land. They're not going to get in disagreement with you. But I want you to know it is really easy to come back from that place if you use the right way and use the right words. For example, if your child mistreated you, scream. He said, no, he did something you don't like. Address the problem kindly and firmly. And also, very important, do not abandon them. I know a family do not speak to their kids for weeks. No. The most you can do that, it's an hour, the maximum. And if you want them to come back to you, guilt them. And this is some of the frame you can use with them. First, I am pretty sure you did not mean that, honey. I don't deserve that. And I did not raise you to treat me this way. And that's it. They will come back to you and apologize. Try it. To conclude this section, I want you to look deeply at the pictures because I believe pictures is powerful. Look at the amount of fear and hate and anger and disconnection between the parent and the son. This is not the way. This is not love. This is not parenting. And you're not going to reach any other place with your kids if you do that. What is the way? The way is communication. Well, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, I'm going to share with you the story of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam when a young man came to him in the masjid asking him for his permission to practice what? Adultery, az-zina. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam sat him down, allowed him to talk, explained to him why zina is haram, why adultery is not okay. He did not say, out, how dare you, in the masjid. No, he gave him his space. He respected his opinion. He allowed him to express himself. And after that, what he did? He put his hand on his chest. He practiced love with him and made a dua for Allah to make a zina, adultery, hated inside of his heart. What came after of that man? He said, I hated nothing but adultery after my conversation with Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Sallallahu ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. To conclude, sooner and later, your kids gonna grow up. And they're gonna open their wings and fly far, far, far away from you, with or without your permission. You like it or not. Let them go and come back to you. Let them fly and find a home with you. And if you feel you made a mistake, you did something wrong, you did not communicate well with them, I want to tell you, it's never too late. Never too late. If you're alive and they are alive, there is a space for fixing up. However, especially if they are teenagers and adults, you need to do one important step. You need to go and apologize. Say it simple. I didn't know better. I love you. I care about you. I want to be part of your life. So please forgive me. Let's start a new page of our life and work your best to fix that. خيركم خيركم التوابين خيركم العائدين. So we have to focus on that. I'm sorry again, I forgot it. خير الخطائين التوابين. The best of people who made a mistake and do the tawbah and istighfar and go. Thank you, mashallah, tabarakallah. Thank you so much. Thank you. There is a quote I adore and I like a lot. It says, do the best you can until you know better. Then, when you better, do better. That simple. Finally, there is an old Arabic say that I used to believe in deeply. It says, إن لم تكن ذئبا أكلتك الذئاب. If you're not a wolf, you will be eaten by a wolf. And if you think about it, it is kind of true. It is the truth, actually. But when you raise your children, when you create a leader, you don't want to create something like that. We live in the wild, but the way you treat them, the way you love them, the way you communicate with them, it's what's going to determine their character. It's what's going to determine what they're going to be in the future. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And if you have any question, now I will have the time for you. I hope you like the presentation and hope to see you next week. Any other question? Yes. Okay.
They just like when kids are younger, sometimes they just never stop talking. And then at certain age, this kid in specific stops talking and communicating. That was her question.
So I want you to know. So her question is: you would have a kid that talk a lot, and when they become teenager, they stop talking at all. So I want you to know, first of all, this is normal, and it could happen, and it need to happen. Actually, it's part of them growing up and finding their path. And I want you to believe it's going to be a small period of time, and your sweet talker will come back to you. But don't push it, respect their spaces, and use the technique I taught you of talking with them. I gave you a clear example of how to ask a question, of how to handle their anger, and one other thing also. Find what they like and create a conversation around it. Also, my friend that her son who loved to go to the gym, he just does not want to talk to her. Zero. As much as she tried, he stopped her. So the funny thing, she went to the internet and looked of the bodybuilder famous names, and she came to him and said, "Who's that guy? I was reading an article and I saw his picture." So the son was impressed actually, and then she followed the other questions. She said, "How long it take you to reach that place?" So it's a process. It needs some patience and time. Other question? You? Yes.
I have three kids, three boys. All of them have different characters. My oldest, he's very quiet, and how he communicate with me through the text. I don't know why he like this way, and I'm always reply to him. Everything, even he share what happened in the school, everything by text. Even when he's in school, when he have time, he text me, and I like it, and I respect the way he want to communicate. My middle son, he is always feel I'm abusing him. I'm not. I don't like him. For example, I drop him to the basketball. I watch his, practice. For he asked me to take him another place. When we go home, he said, "You didn't do nothing for me. You just like your oldest and your youngest. You so mean. I wish I have another mom." And I sometimes I feel maybe he had a bad day or something, but if even he have something, for example, he wants me to wake up him in the morning, he come like 10 times to my room. Don't forget. Okay, I put the alarm. You know what? If you forget, I will not read my book. You know what? If you forget, that's mean you love my oldest, your oldest son. So this is annoying. I have full-time job. I do volunteering. I am a full-time job mom. It's too much for me to, sometimes. I like what the session you give it to us today. I'm here today to improve myself as mom, but sometimes it's so hard, you know. But I have my youngest, she knows, everyone, Muna knows, Abdullah, he is a blessing from Allah to me. At the end of the night, I'm feeling he's the one, he give me all the love. But I didn't mention that between all the three. I treat them equally. So I need your advice how to how to take, yeah, my middle.
So first, I want you to know that you're not gonna have two kids treating you or require the love or the attention the same. The oldest, this is normal for the oldest character, and it could be in the middle or the youngest child. Go with it. go with it. And get to him through sending text messages like love messages, pictures. Share with him things he likes through text messages. However, when you're sitting on the living room, call him. Honey, please come sit down with me. I want to sit with you. Tell him about your day. Start conversation with him. For the middle child, this is the normal behavior for a middle child. The most um, hurt child in the family actually is the middle child. And you're lucky that he's expressing to you his feelings. All what you need to do to give him more love, more attention, I recommend to determine mommy and me time just for him. Pick him up and go to a restaurant. Let him sit down with you on the couch and cover yourself with a blanket. Give him extra attention. He is seeking attention. He wants you to see him. This is his way. Uh, I know. It's a combination of two. He's passionate. I know. It's a combination of both. Passion, he wants to be loved, and feeling that you do not care. He's lost between the oldest and youngest. He needs attention. Just give him extra attention, and you will see results. Inshallah. I, yeah, again, we live in a Western country. I will come back to you after her. We live in a Western country. This is what we have to live with. And the most important thing, they know their religion. They're connected as much as they can to their culture, and you need patience with them. To correct the mistake, use the technique I told you, I taught you today in the session. If he disrespects you, say, honey, don't disrespect me. Why? There is no need for you to disrespect me. If he says, my friend says that, say, well, we're different. We're Muslim. Mother take you to Al Jannah. So just use the method I use to teach you. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I don't have a question, but I want to share some experience with you. So, all your three boys go to school, right? So they spend 7 hours a day in school, right? Okay. And then when they're playing, most of the kids they're playing with, right, are also from here, who are born here, right? Do you allow your children to watch television? You don't know TV. Okay, so that's yeah. Okay, so the thing, what
What did he say? What did he say? Did you hear him? Huh? Yeah, yeah. What? No, no, he's saying that.
anyway, my point was that the amount of time children spend outside of our own cultural home is a lot more than they spend at the home. Even when they're home, they're doing their homework. There goes 2 hours, right? So it's very little time. So I think that we all have gone through this. I have two girls grown up. We all have gone through this, that they vacillate between this culture and that culture, this culture and that culture. And so and different people have tried different things, right? During summertime, we've had friends who actually used to send them back home. They would spend 2 3 months with grandparents and all that, where they get a lot more love, and they acclimate to that. And then when they come here, they're confused, or they belong here or they belong there. So I think that this life is very difficult for us as well as for them.
Uh, Dealing with teenager and kids is very important topic. It needs more information and skills to know what sources do you recommend us to go, especially with our busy lives.
This is a really good question. Do you speak Arabic? Yeah. So most of what you see here, it's a collaborative effort of me and my experience and my reading. And if you speak Arabic, I recommend to listen to Sheikh Jassim Al Mutawwi. He is a Kuwaiti a channel. And he also has a program, paid program called Ma'in that you can pay. It's very affordable, $1 a month, I think, and it's in many languages. They will send you advice for every day to how to treat your children, and you can call them if you have a problem. For reading, especially in handling teenager, as a mom, I did not find something that fit with the religion and with the world that we live in because it's a rapid changes, and we live here. So to be honest with you, I listen mainly to Sheikh Jasm Al Mutawwi, and I try to use the religion and the experience in building things. I hope I answered your question. Yes, sir.
One of the sessions I really enjoyed and liked, and there are books about it, they refer to raising children with love and logic. So basically, like you said, showing always love, and even when you use logic, always connected with love because you love them, because you want to help them. This is the logical reasons for this and that. So they will learn more of reasoning for why you are doing what you are doing and why you are saying what you are saying.
I agree. Last question. I don't want to keep you because it's already after 9.
It's basically not a question, but I'm just adding, trying to help the sister. The kids who needs more attention here or everywhere. I mean, especially with us, because we move here as a single, like as a family, not as an extended family. This is what I have observed, and this is have been bothering me because we as parents or as whatever single mother or father have been playing the roles of all those extended relationship in our families, and that's the reason become our exhaustion. Because I remember in my childhood, whatever I answers I didn't or puzzles I didn't receive from my parents, I used to go to my uncle, aunt, or whoever in the community, in the family, which we really miss here. Actually not miss, we don't miss, our kids miss us. And the only reason, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's very vast subject, by the way. So that's one of the issue. Kids go to every time go to mother and don't find. So the one of the reason. Sorry, yeah. So one of the solution I found. We cannot bring all the family members here, but we can make or bring some influential personalities in their life through the massage or through, yeah.
So she basically, to summarize, she's saying culture and family are missing here, so we can bring the culture and family to their life. I don't want to keep you. Thank you for coming. Please come next week. We will talk about feminism and the hijab and Muslim identity and women and leadership in Islam. It's going to be a really good presentation. Please come. I would appreciate seeing your faces. Thank you so much for coming. Have a good night. Thank you. Yeah, next week.